you have been thinking to yourself recently, I'd like to have a little bit more time to myself, time to knit or craft or read or create something or just sit in a bubble bath, then you need to cut these time wasters out of your life. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura, and look, if anyone gets it, it's me. I want to do all of the things all of the time. I want to grow my business, reply to all of my emails, all 11 bajillion of them. I want to spend more time with my daughter, I want to spend more time with my husband, meet up with friends, learn new things, read lots of books, write a book. Someday I will write the damn book. But listen, there are only so many hours in the day, so if you want to spend more time doing one thing, then you have to spend less time doing something else. My maths teacher would be so proud. When you are looking for things to cut, these should be first on the chopping block. Number one is that you are going to need to stop staring at a screen. I know, and listen, I know it's not all completely mindless and completely bad, but no matter how well I think I'm doing at this, I then look at the analytics on my phone, the stats that tell you how much time you've spent on it per day, and I am always horrified. I'm talking hours per day, and some of it, yes, is work related, but a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is just scrolling. Social media in particular is one of those things where, and Cal Newport talks about this in his book Digital Minimalism, which I would recommend, great book, but he talks about this idea of any benefit, something having any sort of benefit at all, and we feel that we need it in our lives. We don't kind of necessarily weigh things up anymore. We live in this society where more is better, so if something has any form of benefit, no matter how small, then we suddenly equate that with needing it. And that's just not true. And I have found that in my own life, when you are scrolling through your social feed, and you know what? Pause this video and do it right now. Scroll through your social feed and ask yourself, if I did not see this in my feed, if I did not know this information, would my life be any worse off? Personally, I have not scrolled through my Facebook feed in a long time, and this morning I sat down and just scrolled through a few posts just because I knew I was going to be recording this video, just to give me an idea, and I realized there was nothing there that I was missing. It was pictures of people with their kids, pictures of people, their back gardens, those sorts of things. Nothing that was really having a huge, valuable impact on my life. The people that I truly love and care about, my family, my very close friends, those are the types of people that I keep in contact with through video calling and through text message. And when we're not in the middle of a big pandemic, I meet up with them also, so there's face-to-face interaction. But scroll through your feed, a lot of it will just be kind of friends-ish, acquaintances, maybe people you work with. You don't need to know what they are doing on a daily basis. If they have big news, you will find out some other way. If you are looking for ways to limit your screen time, I do have another video on that. I will link it up here and then in the description box. But very briefly, you can either set a timer or just set one of those kind of limiting app things on your phone. How else do I describe it? So I have one on my phone, and it basically lets me set limits on how long I can spend on a particular app. So I have limited it so that when the time limit goes off, the app will shut down and it will say you have reached your time limit for the day. Now I can ignore it if I want. Sometimes I do if I'm in the middle of sending someone a message or something like that, but generally I don't. I just click OK, and then I just wait until it resets the next day. Let's move on from that. I've talked about that enough. The next one then is ad breaks. Kind of does tie into screen time, I guess, but more specifically TV time. Advertisers are betting on you not moving off your chair and just sitting there and consuming all of the stuff that they are trying to sell you, because that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make money out of you. They are trying to sell you something that is going to take up even more of your time. And I'm not saying necessarily that you have to get up and remove yourself from the room, but at least mute the ads and do something. I read a survey somewhere that said that the average American person spends 5 hours a day watching TV. So if you were to add that up, Like there are probably 15 to 20 minutes of ad breaks for each hour of TV that you watch. So you are talking a significant amount of time. And it's not about kind of always doing something. It's not about always being productive. But if you are spending even an hour watching TV and then afterwards you have to go and spend time folding clothes or doing a workout or something like that, why not combine them? And then during the ad breaks, or you just cut out ad break completely, switch to Netflix or some streaming service or whatever. But if you have ad breaks, you can get your clothes folded during those ad breaks, and then you don't have to go and do it, as a separate thing. So it does actually save you a lot of time. Again, it comes back to just mindlessly consuming things. I'm not saying TV is bad at all. It is a great release, great form of entertainment. But those ad breaks really are only designed to separate you from your money, from your time and your money. So use that time wisely and go do something. Take back control of that time and go do something that is for you and that will either enhance your life in some way or will take back time from other parts of your day that you can then kind of combine and use them to sit in your bubble bath or whatever it is that you want to do. And then something that kind of leads on from that then, but it's not specifically tied to your TV, is just general waiting time. When you're waiting for that ad break to end, when you're waiting in line at the bank, at the grocery store, when you're waiting for the kettle to boil or for the microwave to ding, whatever it may be, you're sitting in the carpool lane waiting to pick your kids up from school, or they're playing a sport, you're waiting for them to finish. All of that waiting time adds up to actually a significant chunk of time. Those are the times when you can be making phone calls, replying to emails, reading another few pages of your book, even learning a new language. There are all sorts of things that you can do in a few minutes, a few like snatched minutes here and there. So if you do find that you have some of that waiting around time, and I would suggest that you have a list you already know, because sometimes that waiting time pops up when you don't expect it. You arrive for an appointment or something and they're running a little bit behind. I mean, that's always the case, isn't it? Have you ever gone to get your hair cut or like gone to a doctor's appointment and they've actually seen you at the time that your appointment is? That never happens. Generally, you're going to be waiting around. But if you make an appointment, you're there, something happens, you're meeting someone, they're running late, there can be unexpected waiting time. So instead of sitting there and trying to figure out what to do, I would suggest that you already have a plan. So you already have a book on your phone. You already have like a little craft project in your bag. You already have a list of phone calls that you need to make, whatever it may be, so that when that waiting time crops up, either expected or unexpected, you know exactly what you can do and you are not wasting that time. And then clutter. Clutter. Clutter is one of those things that you don't think actually takes up any of your time, but how much time do you spend looking for things? How much time do you spend cleaning? How much time do you spend moving things from like here to there so that you can sit down and have your dinner at the dining table? How much time do you spend moving things from here to there so that you can actually prepare a meal for yourself? I mean, there are so many different ways that clutter impacts your life. Even for me, I found that having a cluttered environment just distracts me. Even if I have space to work, if there is clutter around me, I'm just distracted by it. I look over there and I'm thinking, I need to deal with that pile. I look over here and I think, that's a project that I really need to finish. I look back here and I think, oh, I'm going to have to deal with that at some point, or that needs to be filed, or whatever it may be. Clutter is such a huge time suck in so many different ways. So clear up a space, even if it's just one space. Like, what is the surface that you use most often in your day? Maybe it's your kitchen counters, maybe it's your desk, whatever it may be. Maybe it's your couch, but just pick that one space and completely declutter it and see what impact it has. If there's something that you're always losing, find a dedicated home for it. Maybe it's your keys, so you hang a hook or you put a little bowl or something. But, decluttering, clearing a space, making it easier on yourself to sit down, have the space you need, not be distracted by stuff, not have to root for things and look for things and clean things and move things. Like I said, all adds up. So pick your one spot, declutter it, see how much better you feel. Then that can spread to the rest of your home, little by little. Next up is anything that you are doing, that you are spending time doing, that could be done automatically. If there is a robot that can do it for you, you should have that robot do it for you. There are so many examples of this. When we moved to the US, one of the things that I was so surprised by was that people pay their bills by like writing out checks and mailing them in. There are automatic services that do this for you. You know, you can set up automatic payments. That is one of the ways that is going to save you so much money. And you might think, well, it only takes me a minute to write out a check, pop it in the post. First of all, how much are you spending on stamps? My goodness. But also, all of those minutes add up. It's a minute for every bill that you have to pay, every time that you have to pay it, whether that's, you know, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it may be. Again, it all adds up. Subscription services are another great example here, and I'm not talking about the subscription services where you just get a box of crap every month, like see aforementioned Clutter, but subscription services where you get stuff that you actually want delivered to your home rather than you having to go out and buy it. So examples for me, these are things that I actually have a subscription service for, like laundry detergent, dishwasher tablets, like cleaning supplies, toilet paper. All of those things are delivered to my door, and I never have to spend time at the store going out to buy them, putting them in my cart, scanning them through, bagging them all up. It's all just delivered automatically to my house. It's wonderful. I also have a robot vacuum. He's brilliant. His name is Rex. And he, you know, it's like saves me so much time because, again, he's a robot. He can do it for me. Why would I spend all of that time cleaning and mopping the floors? Now, he's not like he doesn't have the same attention to detail, shall we say, that I do, but he can go through and get rid of most of the like crumbs and dirt on the floor, and then I might have to come along and just get maybe, you know, along the edges and stuff, little bits that he's missed. And sometimes he does get like stuck under a chair or like in a corner or something and he beeps at me. But generally he saves me so much time. If I listen, I have a 7-year-old. My floors get covered in crumbs and dust. It's like dirt that she tracks in from outside. She brings rocks in, sticks. Obviously the vacuum's not going to like pick those up, but they come with a lot of like dust and dirt and little flakes of things. So I can just press a button and he can take care of all of that for me. Robots, they're the way of the future. As long as they don't rise up against us, I'm good. And then there is doing things one by one, doing things individually instead of batching them all together. Let me tell you why this is such a huge time suck. A lot of what goes into a task is actually the setup and the tearing down afterwards. So for example, when you are cooking, a lot of that is like getting out all of the pots and pans, getting out all of the ingredients, having them all at hand, and then afterwards, you know, washing them all and putting them away or putting them in the dishwasher. Again, robots, brilliant. But while you have all of that stuff already out, like maximize that time, do as much as you can while you have all the stuff on hand. For example, like it takes me a while to set up like the camera and the lights and to get everything all lined up here. So it would be foolish of me to just record one video, although admittedly I am today, but there are reasons for that. But usually when I sit down, I try and record 2 to 4 videos at a time, and that's because it takes me time to set this up and it takes me time to then put it all away. So why would I do that for each time I want to record a video? That was a very long-winded way of saying batch everything. Once you've got your stuff out, do it all. Meal prepping. Once you've got all your pots and pans and things out, chop up all the vegetables. Don't just chop up the vegetables you need for this meal, because then you're going to have to wash all that and then drag it all back out tomorrow and chop up some more vegetables. You know, once you're in the groove, this is another thing that takes time. It can take time to kind of get yourself settled in to a task. Sometimes when I sit down to record a video, like the first few sentences I kind of stumble over, or I'm just getting used to it because I'm just starting. But once I get into the flow of it, then the words come to me. Although being Irish, that's not usually a problem. I don't usually have a problem coming up with words to say. But you know what I mean. Starting off, things can be a little bit slow, and then you get into a groove. So you should run with that groove. Get as much done as this is supposed to be me chopping. You know what I mean. Batching, that's all you need to know. Now, if you are really serious about getting more done in less time, getting all that stuff out of the way so that you can focus on the things that actually matter to you, then you're going to want to click this playlist. It has got all of my top productivity tips in there so you can save yourself even more time. Until then, go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus feicim mé sibh go luath. Slán!